All right, we're going to just get right into it this morning.
Rip it.
If you're watching this, you've already moved over to the new Clean Breakthrough podcast on YouTube. You've gotten away from Greenville Transitions and you just type in Clean Breakthrough, and here we are. You found us. Congratulations. So today it's myself and Lucas.
Hello.
There he is. It's just the two of us this morning. Just the two of us. And what are we going to talk about, Lucas? I think we're going to talk about pink cloud. What is the pink cloud?
The pink cloud is a magical place you go. I don't feel like in day one, week one recovery, but maybe like people say a lot of times it's around like 90 days and you just start feeling really good about recovery. Your body's feeling better. Everything kind of feels like it's clicking. Maybe too much is the double-edged, the other blade on the double-edged sword of the pink cloud. So we found a funny video that kind of sums it up. So we're going to play that and then talk about it a bit.
All right, let me do a little screen share here. All right, can you see that?
I can see it.
Here we go.
A higher power. You know, resentments will kill you, right? I don't know if there is a God. I just know I'm not it. It's so weird that I'm actually feeling again. Can we walk somewhere else? That tree is really triggering me. Looks like a massive nug. You're not gonna win. Can we get another coffee? It's attraction, not promotion, but I think you have a problem and you should come with me to a meeting today. Gosh, there's a yellow leaf on the floor. Yellow's my favorite color. This is a God shot. Is it odd or is it God? They say you can't have fun and sobriety. Please. What do you call this? Do you believe in a higher power?
So good.
So good. It hits so many different things.
Yeah. One of the first things I want to point out in that video is when she's like, it's attraction rather than promotion. And I think you need to come with me to a meeting.
Think you have a problem. You need to come with me to a meeting today.
But there is a component, and I can remember doing this in early recovery, is like, you're wanting to tell people how well you're doing. Like you want other people to know that something's working for you. And it's probably people that like knew you were a mess. So you go out of your way to like say little things or demonstrate little things in front of them. That's like, look at me, I'm a completely different person.
Well, there's like that part for sure. And I think that's come into like every time that I've gotten sober. But luckily I had some unsuccessful times getting sober that I got to like burn off earlier on, where more like what that thing was saying, like calling every friend I had that I ever used or drank with and being like, hey man, like I'm just saying, like I'm sober now. And like you may have a problem too, dude. And I've been going to AA and like it's just helping me so much. I feel like it would benefit you. You'd love it, dude. You'd love it. The people there are great and they're support. Like I'm trying to like pull everyone else in and say like they have a problem too, which is such a bad look from like 2 weeks sober addict alcoholic, who like just got his shit together after being a mess for 10 years. So I feel like that one's so relatable because it happens a lot. I think like behind it is maybe this like deflection of responsibility when it's like a bunch of us, like, hey, we all have a problem. Like it kind of takes it off of just me of like, you have a problem and you have a problem, and not in like the intervention sense of like, how dare y'all do an intervention on me? You've got a problem too. It's like not like that. It comes from a little bit of a better place, but I think at the heart of it, it's just wanting to kind of spread the load.
Yeah, I can remember in detail calling one of my buddies. His name was Justin. We called him Dickie. But calling Dickie like 2 weeks into treatment and being like, yeah, man, like I'm finally in a good place, man. After 10 years, like you said, of just tearing it up, I was like, man, I think I got it figured out. This is just so good. It's so helpful for me. And then I probably cried myself to sleep that night.
Yeah, dude.
Like there were still a lot of rough nights to come, but I had to like call Dickie and let him know.
Well, in their mind, they're like, dude, you stole my daughter's Christmas money for heroin 2 weeks ago. Like, why are you calling me?
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me I have a problem?
Yeah, I think
So,
another part of it is like, um, yeah, I don't know, like just wanting to feel good about yourself and what you're doing, and you're trying to find every like little thing that because maybe you're stuck in treatment. We work with a lot of guys that are. It's like they were kind of forced into it, and they get to this place where it's like, okay, well, maybe I don't want my friends to know that I'm forced into it. So maybe I need to start finding the positive to let at least the friends know that like I chose this new path and I'm a better man. And
oh, dude, I have the best example of that. There's a guy this past time that I went to treatment that clicked in Wilderness. His name was Sean, and he's not with us anymore, and I miss him a lot. But he was just the best example of it. So like day one, he comes in and he's like, "This is bullshit. I got pulled over by some effing cop, and he said this and did that. Next thing I know, my parents are sending me here. I like don't want to be here." He's trying to leave, but then like 30, 60 days in, I see him talking to new people that are coming in, and he's like, to them, he's like, "Man, like I just wanted this for me, and I just needed this for me, and I asked my parents to come here." And he's like standing up on this pedestal of like you guys are acting like you have to be forced to be here. Like I wanted to come here. I want this for me. And you're just like, oh my God, dude, what happened to like, it's just funny how stuff changes.
yeah, yeah, and it can change quick. I mean, when you remove drugs and alcohol from your brain, and the brain heals itself very quickly. You start to like rewire it quickly. I think if Cole were here, he would say like that's why I enjoyed this type of counseling so much, is because you can see the change happen so fast, just by removing something that's so detrimental to your health, your mental health. So I do think part of it is that too. It's just like naturally you're going to start thinking differently as soon as those chemicals leave your body, and especially a few days after your brain has a chance to like get a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. And something I feel like we talk about all the ways that people kind of get high on other stuff when they quit drugs and alcohol, like caffeine, nicotine, porn, gambling, stuff like that. One that I feel like we don't talk about that kind of fits into this is like getting high on like emotions and like superiority, ego. I feel like that's kind of this stuff. It's veiled a bit, it's not like, look at me, I'm sober and I'm the man. But it's like, you should get sober too. And that, I feel like that comes from some place of ego of like, what I'm doing is the right thing. And now all of y'all need to do it now that finally I'm ready to do it. And so I think it's normal to kind of find yourself pivoting to things like that as you're looking to fill this hole inside of you.
Yeah. I mean, just the dopamine hit. Like, let's just talk about it in terms of a dopamine hit is a real thing. And like, I went far down that path in early recovery. Like I started taking steroids. I wanted to get like big muscles. I wanted the 6-pack abs or 8-pack if I could get that. And then I wanted to get on dating apps, which were coming around at that time, where it's like, okay, now I can get on Tinder or these dating apps and have hopefully women swipe right on me saying like, oh, this woman likes you, that woman likes you, this woman, which was just like a constant emotional high. Like that was a dopamine hit for me, was to just chase that stuff for a while until I got to a healthier place with it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of ways we go after it. I just think this kind of fits into that. But that was the first one for me too, that I was like, ooh, that one, it hits. It also hits close to home.
What?
That clip.
Oh yeah.
That part of it, of the like, I can't remember exactly what she says. You have a problem and you need to go with me to a meeting today.
Yeah.
Oh, the last thing I was going to say is, I think it's also like when I would talk to all these supportive people in my life, mostly just like my parents, basically, you talk to them about like, oh, well, AA is this and AA is that, and whatever. And they're like, they build you up so much. Like, that's amazing. God, what you're doing is so great. So I think somewhere in my mind, I was like, if I talk to other people about this stuff, they're going to give me that same dopamine hit back too. And in a way that's more meaningful than like my mom doing it. Like if my friend, John, he's like, oh, that's awesome, dude. I'm going to go today. Like that feels really good that I just got this guy to do this thing that I think is good. kind of like doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, possibly the wrong thing for the wrong reasons, but that's up for debate.
Do you know how long it, can you remember back to like how long it took you for your language to change around this from like, because obviously I think both of us in the very beginning when our moms or dads would talk to us, we'd get the opportunity to get on the phone with them. We were like, this is awful. This is terrible. It's never going to work. You're the worst for making me come here. But eventually that language changed to kind of like this video of that pink cloud of like, yeah, I learned so much in that meeting in my therapy group today. And like trying to show them a different side of you.
I was in treatment for 76 days, so I'd say about 76 days. But it was like, no, I don't even know. I don't know. That was just when I like accepted being sober for the foreseeable future and going to sober living and stuff like that. But I don't know that that means that I talk to them differently. I probably still withheld that a bit of like, this stuff's dumb, but like, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
What about for you?
I want to say like 2 months, maybe a month and a half to 2 months. And part of it was still coming from a dishonest place of like, I just want you to think that I'm doing better. So I'm going to regurgitate some of these sayings that I'm hearing from my groups and my meetings over the phone to you. And then part of it was like a low key, I think I'm trying to convince myself that this is working. So I just need to keep saying it to people. But yeah, it took a little while for that to happen.
It's funny how it's like there's the two sides of it when you want to get out of treatment or sober living or something. And the one is like, you know, like the threats and I hate it here and I'm going to kill myself. And if you don't let me leave, I'm going to punch a wall and I'm just going to leave anyways and all that stuff. And it's so funny that the other one is you just try to be like perfect. And in my mind, it's like, if I am so good, this 7-month program will become a 3-month program because I'll become the first resident they've ever had to do things this well, that they'll break the rules and they'll be like, you know what, man, we're normally 7 months, but you made so much progress in 3. We're just going to go ahead and cut you loose. And so they're like these polar opposites, but for the same manipulative goal.
Or not even the program cutting you loose, but you've convinced the family. Like we've seen that happen before, where now the family is convinced that, hey, he is, after 3 months, he is healed.
Yeah.
Or he has gotten the cure and we're bringing him home. We're going to put you right back in college, right back in the old atmosphere. And then that quickly plummets. But
yeah, definitely seen that.
Well, let's talk about like the dangerous side. I feel like there's a dangerous side of the pink cloud. And I certainly heard about this a lot. And I felt like there were older people from meetings and groups that warned me of this, of, hey, don't get too cocky. Don't get too confident because that's what takes people out. Like when you think that David has all the answers and he's got everything figured out, and that's when these thoughts start creeping in again of like, I could probably drink. I mean, if it were just drinking and I didn't add in the Xanax and the opiates, like I could probably handle just drinking because like I feel good now. But that's when people start to go down that slippery slope of like listening to that inner dialogue of like, I got it all figured out.
Yeah, what we just saw, I feel like is more just kind of the somewhat harmless, like annoying side of it. But what you just touched on is, I think, the more dangerous side of it. That, like you said, that I think it shows that it looks very different in this video because that's when I'm like, do I really need 12-step? Do I need a sponsor? Do I need to work steps? Like, I feel like I'm good. I got this thing licked. I'm 6 months sober now. That's so long. And I think I can just kind of go do things my way. And not even with the intention of doing drugs or alcohol, but just, I don't know that I need to do all this stuff. I don't know that I need this sober living, this support, a therapist, any of that. I think I can go back to the way my life was basically just without drugs and alcohol. And it's going to be fine. That's like kind of the scary part.
Yeah. Let's run through it again. I want to remind a reminder of some of the other things she said.
Resentments will kill you, right? I don't know if there is a God. I just know I'm not it. It's so weird that I'm actually feeling again. Can we walk somewhere else? That tree is really triggering me. Looks like a massive nug. You're not gonna win. We get another coffee? It's attraction, not promotion, but I think you have a problem and you should come with me to a meeting tonight. Gosh, there's a yellow leaf on the floor. Yellow's my favorite color. This is a God shot. Is it odd or is it God? They say you can't have fun and sobriety. Please. What do you call this?
Is it odd or is it God?
It's funny too, because so many of those little clips and sayings and stuff like that, I mean, have like a good dose of truth to them. That like the idea behind it, I'm like, oh, I totally agree with that. It's like there's just kind of this corny, cringy way that we can come across when we're overly trying to like push that on people.
Yeah, there are a ton of these little sayings when you go to meetings, when you go to shmay or shmay or
AA.
And I've got to say, to like a young man entering that scene, it is like super cheesy, super corny. You're like, oh my God, I'm never gonna like get anything from these people. But then as you like keep coming around, they just start to stick. Of like, and there's a reason. There's a reason that there are these little short snippets that are so cheesy that just stick in your head. But they're good reminders of very real things. What would you say is like, do you have one that was like the cringiest to you? Thing that you would hear?
Nothing like immediately comes to mind, but I feel like there were so many. The one that got me probably the most that I just like hated in the beginning was one day at a time. It's not necessarily as corny or cringy. I just felt like it didn't make sense because they're like one day at a time, like just stay sober for today. And I'm like, but for the rest of my life, right? And they're like, well, I mean, yeah, but just for today. I'm like, yeah, but tomorrow too. And they're like, well, when tomorrow comes tomorrow, I'm like, but tomorrow you'll say just for today too. So like there was something about that I was like, just be like honest, that it's like it's one day at a time for the rest of your life. And that actually gave me more like peace around it. I know that some people kind of need it to be like, okay, just today. I don't have to worry about tomorrow, especially in the beginning. But I do think something has to click and change at some point where you're like, for the rest of my life. Like, I just feel like you're in kind of a dangerous territory when it's like only for today. Like, I don't even think about tomorrow. It's just for today. Tomorrow I could drink. It's like, as long as I'm kind of entertaining that tomorrow I could drink, next week I could drink, a year from now I could drink, but I'm just not going to drink today. That feels like kind of a dangerous position to be in to me, I guess, for some reason.
Yeah. You would always have the person too that needed to put their own spin on a saying. They'd be like, and I'm not taking it just for today. I'm not even going to take it just for the hour, but I'm taking it minute by minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, do we have to go there with it? Do we have to take it 10 steps ahead?
Lucas Schmalcoholic, I'm actually taking it second by second just for this second.
Yeah. Don't know what this guy's talking about, but
minute by minute. God, must be nice. I wish I could plan out a whole minute of my life.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I was going to say the same thing, but in the just for today. Just for today.
That's more of the Schnee.
That one or the
just for today.
Just remember Rule 62.
Don't take yourself too serious.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They're all so good. I just think it's easy to look at them as corny on the front end, and then especially if you have a corny person delivering them. You know, it's hard to defend them. But like that woman said, and of course, here's the corny part. She's like, resentments will kill you. It's like, all right, chill out. Like, but yeah, resentments are like not good for me to have, and they lead to bad emotions and feelings that I'm just refeeling over and over again, which can easily put me in a place where I'm like, maybe drugs and alcohol would kind of fix this, especially if I'm like 2 months sober, and that's how I've always handled bad feelings or negative emotions. So it's like, it's true. You just don't have to be that intense about it. Like, resentments will kill you.
Yeah. What else do we have on Pink Cloud? Did we take anything else from that video?
No, I mean, I think that was kind of it, is like just the main stuff being that it's real. It happens. I don't think it has to happen to anyone. I don't think you want to doubt it too much, because I know sometimes people are like, oh, am I just on a pink cloud? I don't even know. And they're just thinking about it too much. I feel like just keep doing what's working. and don't stop doing what's gotten you, to this point of like, well, now I hit 6 months sober. So kind of on this pink cloud of like, everything's good and I can just go back to the way things were. Like, just acknowledge what's gotten you to this point and keep it up.
Yeah. Have you heard any new sayings circulating? Like, as like generations go by, new words are formed, new hip word. Like when I was in high school, we would say, you heard a hot song, you'd say, "Oh, that's so fire. That song is fire." Or "That's the bomb," was even before fire. And now it's like, "That's cap, no cap." So have you heard any of like the new slang implemented into the sayings?
No, because I find that like traditional 12 step, at least the stuff that I am in, is it's so heavy, like middle age, older age people. Like the young people coming in maybe talk that way, but they stay sober for 3 months and then leave. And occasionally one of them stays sober and sticks around for 10 years. But then they grow up so much so quickly in like 12 step in recovery that maybe a lot of that language kind of chills out, especially in meetings. So I just feel like the people who have the most recovery, I think, control the language the most. And that tends to be middle-aged to older people.
The corny ones. Well, I heard her say in the video, she was like, "Oh, that's a God shot." And I was like, I had not heard that one.
That's probably newer. I'd say that's probably like the past 10 or 15 years. And it's like something happens, in your life that feels like it's got to be God or a higher power. Like, oh, it's a God shot.
Yeah. And then someone says, "You're capping. That wasn't a God shot."
That's straight crap. That's straight cap fool on God, for real, for real.
Oh God.
No, I think I'll tell you one I heard the other day that was good. I don't know if it's like a saying or it's called on. I've only heard it once, but it's this God, he was like a skateboarder guy with like the Bam Margera, CKY, Jackass kind of crew. Brandon Novak. He's got like a really good recovery story and super successful really early on. I heard him say on a podcast the other day, he said, recovery gave me everything that drugs and alcohol promised me. And I like that one a lot. And I told it to a friend of mine and he brought it up like 2 days later. He was like, "Dude, I keep thinking about that. It's so true."
Yeah.
It really is. But that's like a good, not so corny. But here's the other thing. All that stuff sounds corny when it promotes recovery and I'm trying to be an addiction.
Yeah.
Like any little saying, quip, one-liner, anything like, I'm just like, because I'm just like, you guys are all losers.
Yeah. You're going to dismiss it all.
Yeah. So like, no matter what.
Yeah. And you're going to you're not looking for similarities. You're coming into those groups and meetings. You're looking for differences, things that you can take and use as ammunition as to why you don't need it.
Yes. Looking for differences, looking for the negative, looking for why I shouldn't be here and I should be somewhere else. And so
that comes up for us all the time in our day-to-day programming. I was just talking to you the other day about a mom that called in and wanting to know, like, well, but will my son get along with everyone in the program? It's like, probably not. Yeah, is what, like, and you pointed that out. You were like, well, probably not. The reality is he might get along with some and not with others. The other reality is that he's going to face that no matter what sober living or what program he goes to. There's going to be people that he likes and people that he doesn't like. And it also depends on, like you said, is he looking for similarities and how he's the same as that person? Or are you coming in looking for differences? And in our reality, in most cases, most of these guys are coming in looking for differences and why this isn't going to work, why they shouldn't be here, why their way should be the way that they try. They should have stayed in school or stayed in the apartment or.
Well, and also not just sober living treatment, but it's like, is he going to like every single person at his job? Probably not. Is he going to like every teacher that he has in a semester? Probably not. Is he going to like every person even in one specific class? Probably not. Is he going to like everybody on a sports team? Probably not. Like, this is normal everywhere in life. There's going to be people you like and you really click with and get along with. And there's going to be people that you don't, but you still got to figure out how to be around. And yeah, I mean, that's just life to me. So I think sober living's no different. I also heard about, wish I could remember what the bias was called. It's a type of bias, and it's where you like pick apart people who are the most similar to you to just have some like difference. So like rather, and then meanwhile, there's people around you that are so different than you that you don't even like acknowledge because they're so different. Maybe I feel like that happens a lot in sober living where it's like, you guys are almost, I mean, especially us, we work with young men, like most of them have like somewhat similar upbringings. Most of them have like sports. If they don't, they have something like they're just very, very, very similar. And they will convince you that they're totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And always, yeah, this kind of goes to that type of bias. You know, we always see that like the 28, 29-year-old in our program may talk about the 21-year-old and be like, I'm not like these babies, you know, like, all right, like I got my life together. I was doing things. I don't know if I should be in a sober living with them. We get that kind of stuff. I've never heard someone go harder on like a 21-year-old than a 22-year-old and be like, yeah, when I was 21, I was doing stuff like that. I'm like, bro, that was last year. Stop.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Months ago.
And then the same thing goes for like, we always say like, and this is not a ranking that we make as a sober living. Obviously, I see like all these guys as struggling, having pros and cons, ups and downs, whatever. But in a house, I feel like a hierarchy will form, and there'll be like kind of the guy that's seen as like the bottom guy. And then there's kind of like the second to bottom guy. And there is no fiercer competition I've seen on planet Earth than between those two guys.
And that's everywhere too. There's always a scapegoat, where whether it's in the workplace, your corporate party, like I think there's always that dynamic.
It's just a crazy dynamic to be like in your head fighting for second to last place. Like
Yeah.
I'll notice that guy who thinks, again, we don't say that. I don't think anyone's in last place or second to last place or anything like that, but they think it and they believe it. And it's just funny that like their only goal is to just be second to last place. Where then I'm like, rather than just keep shitting on the guy in last place, why not shoot for, more? Like, why not be going for first place? Like, if you're going to be so committed to this hierarchy, why not go for like, I want to be the best guy in this program who's like looked at as like doing the most and whatever. It's just funny that it's always just this very fierce battle between these two bottom guys, and the guys in the middle and the guys at the top seem to like not really care as much. They're just doing their thing, doing the right stuff. But those two bottom guys fight the hardest and the most. And back to that same point, they're like the most similar. Like they have like the same bad behaviors, the same bad habits. And I think that's why they see it so fiercely in each other that it's like, no, I'm different than him. And they're always pointing. Like, I think we had something where a guy like stole pizza. This was years ago. And we called it Pizzagate in the sober living. And everybody was like, who do you think did it? And I think like everybody blamed who was like seen as like the bottom guy. And then the second to bottom guy also like jumped on him. And then the bottom guy blamed the second to bottom. Like they were just so at each other's throats, of just like, no, it was definitely him. I think it was you. And I think it turned out it was the second to bottom guy who was blaming the bottom guy. It's wild. Just like the human dynamics and sober living of how people behave and act and how they see themselves and how they see themselves related to others. And I think the thing we try to push is just like, look for the similarities, not for the differences. Look for the positive, not for the negative. You'll find whatever you're looking for. So make sure you're looking for good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I found myself in that situation in school when it was coming time for graduation. I was like the bottom guy. There was one other bottom guy. And I was like, I just got to turn in one more assignment to this guy.
I just can't be that guy.
Yeah. Went to a really small school too. There was only 24 of us that graduated. I couldn't be 24.
No, dude. I actually graduated 23 in my class, 23rd in my class.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds a lot better.
That's pretty impressive.
Oh.
No. So that's it. I mean, there's so many roads you could go down with this, but pink clouds are normal. Just got to fight your way through it and not get too cocky. And hopefully, also think about not being too annoying while you're doing it too, so that you're not pushing other people away or making, just giving recovery kind of a bad name, trying to push it on people that aren't interested in it, I guess.
Yeah. And parents, now now you have some insight as to what the pink cloud is and what to look for. And just go with the flow. Just let it happen. Let it unfold.
Just go with it. Gets better over time. Don't get too ahead of yourself. One day at a time.
Right. All right. Well, with that, let's sign out.
Skirt.